Some days, getting out of bed feels like a battle. Simple tasks become heavy burdens. And the world demands answers you no longer have the strength to give. But what if I told you this isn't laziness, that this constant exhaustion isn't weakness? Maybe you're just trying to survive a life that no longer represents you, a routine that suffocates, a path you never truly chose, a model of success that was promised to you, but makes no sense to your soul. Some people call it lack of motivation, when in reality it's existential saturation, a tiredness that doesn't start in the body, but in the soul, in the awareness of living in a place where you have to erase yourself just to fit in. And when your soul starts rejecting this script, paralyzes you, today maybe you'll realize you haven't lost your energy. It's just tired of being used to maintain a life you can no longer bear to carry. If this touched something in you, stay, because this video is for you. Have you ever felt useless for not being able to be productive? Have you ever felt ashamed for not managing even the simplest tasks? Maybe you've asked yourself, why can everyone else do it and I can't? The answer might hurt, but it can also set you free. You are emotionally exhausted. There's a huge difference between laziness and this invisible overload, and no one ever taught you that. We live in a culture that ties your worth to your performance. If you're not always active, optimistic, and productive, then something must be wrong with you. But what if what's wrong is the very life you're trying so hard to sustain? What if the problem isn't you, but the environment, the pressure, and the disconnection from what really matters? Many people wake up every day on autopilot, trying to survive a script they never consciously chose. This exhaustion is a symptom of a system that doesn't respect the human soul. If you're hearing this and feel a lump in your throat, it's because you know. You recognize that you can't keep pretending everything's okay. And that doesn't make you weak. It makes you clear-headed. You haven't lost your motivation. It's just tired of being used to maintain a life that no longer makes sense. You know that feeling of discouragement, that desire to disappear for a few days without having to explain anything to anyone? That's not drama, and it's not a lack of strength. It's your soul trying to tell you that something is wrong. You might still keep smiling, completing tasks, showing up, but inside, there's a part of you that's screaming. It's a silent scream, hard to put into words. It shows up as exhaustion, disinterest, emptiness. And the most dangerous part is when you start to believe that this is normal. But it's not. What you're feeling is a clash between the life you've built and who you truly are inside. And the more you ignore this misalignment, the more your energy collapses. The body gets sick. The mind shuts down. Motivation disappears. That inner cry shows up because your awareness can no longer tolerate living in survival mode. And if you feel this now, you need to understand. This is not the end. It's the beginning. It's your soul rebelling against a version of you that has become too small. What inside you is begging for change, but you keep holding on to out of fear. Because until you face that, the cry will only get louder. Here comes a moment when everything seems to stop. Ideas don't come. Creativity disappears. Even your body starts to feel heavy. And no matter how much you try to force yourself, nothing flows. This is a clear sign of energetic stagnation. And it usually happens when you're living a life that no longer connects with your essence. It's like trying to fuel a car with the wrong type of gas. It might start, but it won't go far. You might be surrounded by people, fulfilling your responsibilities, being functional, but inside your energy is stuck, because it wasn't meant to support forced versions of yourself. The energy that drives life, vitality, enthusiasm, clarity, only shows up when you're aligned with something true. When that alignment disappears, everything starts to feel heavy. Simple decisions become dilemmas. Everything irritates you. Nothing inspires you. And this doesn't improve with toxic productivity or empty motivational quotes. If your energy has stopped, it's because you've stopped listening to yourself. How many times have you felt like changing everything, but swallowed it down and kept going? Maybe your energy is blocked because you keep holding on to what's already expired. And if you don't make space, there's no use asking for a new chapter. It won't come in. How many times have you had a clear gut feeling, but ignored it? Felt that something wasn't for you, but went ahead anyway? The truth is, your intuition has been trying to warn you for a long time. And most of the time, you silence that whisper with logic, fear, or routine. Intuition is your oldest form of intelligence. It senses what the rational mind hasn't figured out yet. But we've been taught to trust what's logical, visible, and accepted by others, more than what resonates within us. So you start making decisions based on what seems right, but not on what truly feels right to you. You end up in jobs, relationships, and places that your soul had already said no to from the beginning. The result is anxiety, doubt, exhaustion, because living against your own intuition comes at a high price, living far from yourself. Now take a deep breath and think, when was the last time you listened to your intuition and trusted it all the way? If you can't remember, maybe it's time to stop rejecting your most reliable compass. Your intuition isn't trying to protect you from failure. It's trying to reconnect you with who you really are. When life starts to lose its meaning, almost no one truly understands what's happening. People tell you to react, be more positive, try harder. But few realize that the emptiness you feel is, in fact, an invitation. That constant discomfort, that sense that something is missing, is the first sign that you're being called to look within. It's not about improving your performance. It's about finally stopping the escape from yourself. Self-knowledge doesn't begin with books or courses. It begins in the collapse, in the breaking point, in that feeling that you no longer fit anywhere. It's in that space that the deepest truths start to emerge. And you'll only break out of the cycle when you stop trying to go back to who you used to be. Because that version no longer represents you. And the new version that's being born needs space. Think about it. What are you still trying to avoid? Because as long as you stay distracted, busy, or trying to keep up, you'll keep feeling disconnected. The pain you feel today may be the most powerful doorway to transformation in your life, but only if you have the courage to walk through it. Manifesting isn't just about wanting something really badly. It's about aligning your energy with the life you want to live. And when you're living a life that doesn't represent you, that creative flow gets blocked. You might try to visualize, affirm, focus your thoughts, but nothing takes shape because your energy isn't available. It's being drained to sustain a reality that doesn't nourish you. And there's no true manifestation when the foundation is self-denial. Stagnation isn't a lack of ability, it's an overflow of incoherence. When your actions, thoughts, and emotions are out of alignment, the universe stops responding. That's why so many people get frustrated with spirituality. They chase results without first going through internal realignment. Manifestation doesn't begin with wanting. It begins with clearing. Clearing what's blocking you. Clearing what you keep accepting out of fear. Clearing the stories you keep repeating out of habit. You don't need to try harder. You need to be more honest about what you feel. Energy only starts to flow again when you stop pretending everything's okay. There comes a moment when you realize you can't keep going the way you were. Nothing fits anymore, and what once felt stable now weighs on you like a prison. This is the breaking point, but no one talks enough about the chaos that comes with it. Deconstructing your own identity hurts. You lose what you once knew about yourself. You question your choices, your beliefs, your relationships. Sometimes you lose people. Sometimes you lose everything. But losing isn't failure. It's space. That's where the new begins to form. Rebuilding doesn't happen all at once. It takes time, silence, and conscious choices. You learn to listen to yourself. You learn to protect yourself. You learn to truly respect yourself. This process isn't pretty, but it's real. And it's what gives you back your energy, your presence, your truth. No one is reborn without crossing their own abyss. But those who cross it come back different. more whole, stronger, freer. Transformation begins when you stop blaming yourself for no longer being able to sustain what's been destroying you. When you realize you didn't fail, you simply evolved. To transcend doesn't mean to walk away from everything overnight. It means starting to make choices that are more in line with who you really are. The soul rejects what doesn't help it grow. And that's not losing your path. It's finding your way back to your center. And if you felt something shift inside you while watching this, know this. It's not a coincidence. This video found you because, on some level, your energy was already ready for this conversation. Now I invite you to keep this exchange going. Leave a comment sharing what touched you the most. Like this video so it can reach more people going through this silent awakening. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. The next steps may be closer than you think. See you in the next video.